on the live stream on YouTube and share your contributions, or just go there and watch it. We are at Smooth 981 FM Lagos, and talking about poultry. Like I said, it is something we enjoy having on our tables. So, yes, talking about our poultry, is there anyone, if anyone actually wants to get into poultry farming, what are the basics that they actually need to know? Because I've seen where some individuals just have small chicks in some containers or in some boxes. They'll just put them in some small corner there, give them little feed from time to time. I've seen that happen so many times, especially people who are just waiting to. This mostly happens during those periods before you get into the ember season, because hey, we're looking at
Exactly.
selling them off. So we'll buy them as chicks, rear them, and then when they look like they are plump enough, we'll start to sell them off. But what are the basics that the person needs to know if they're venturing into poultry farming? Aside money, which we know you have to have.
Okay, okay. To venture into poultry farming, like you said, it depends on the aspect of poultry you want to venture into.
Okay.
Um, some people want to venture into the egg production. Some people want to, venture into the meat production, whichever area that you want to venture into. I believe it's aside the one that for subsistence, which means you just do it for by the corner of the house, so that during Christmas you have chicken to kill, or once in a
Right.
while you have egg to eat. But then, if you want to do it commercial, meaning you intend to sell, no matter the quantity,
Mm-hmm.
the most important thing is the basic thing I'll tell people to do is go for a training. Now, this training could be hands-on training from a poultry farmer, and then a lot of farms that run training on the basic um, uh, poultry management programs that can give you a heads-on when you want to start it. A lot of people have come into the sector, the poultry sector, and get their hands burned and their fingers burned in one way or the other because they lack the basic knowledge. Now, it
Okay.
is not as easy as, okay, just put down the cheeks and all that. Now,
Okay.
you need to understand what kind of feed did they need. For
Right.
instance, yeah. People will think, since I have poultry, I can give them feed. You just go and buy the
Right.
feeds to give them. But then the challenge is that both the layer has a different ration. The broiler also have another ration. And
Oh,
then there's another one we call cockerel. They have their own ration.
right.
And if you use one ration to feed the other, it becomes a problem because that means you're not going to achieve the desired result.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
I
They don't
wouldn't
eat the
have
same
thought
thing.
that was actually a thing. I thought, oh, just feed them
They,
the same way. They will all, it's food now. They will all
no
eat and be
way,
fine.
no
Hmm.
way, no way. They can't. They don't eat the same thing. They have
Okay.
different quantities of certain things in their feed to enable them grow. For instance, broiler need energy. They need protein to grow and fat up. One. But the layers, you remember they lay egg. That means they
Mm-hmm.
will need something that will supply them the shell, which means they must be calcium carbonate in their feed. Because if they
Oh,
don't have
okay.
it, and the funny aspect of it is they may not tell you that they don't have it. Rather, their legs, they have calcium on it.
Yes.
They have bones. So they will begin to suck the calcium on their legs or any part of their body in their
Oh,
bones,
to
form egg.
supplement.
Exactly. And if that happens, it means their legs will get to a point where it won't carry them anymore because the calcium that supports their growth is not there. So now, one, you must know the area of which aspect of poultry do you want to go into.
Okay.
Having taken that decision, you will now also now begin to study on that particular aspect to see what are the things that is required, that the things that you will require in that aspect. So if you arm yourself with all the necessary informations,
Right.
have a hands-on training on how to go about it, you can be sure that, when you start, there's no learning that you can say, okay, I am fully
Good
been
as.
well in. I've done
Okay.
it for over, I've been in poultry for over almost 10 years now, but I'm still
Hmm.
learning because something happened in our farm that say, wow, it is now that incident that happened that made me to understand that. So in this area, this is the
You
way
need
to handle it. But
improvement.
before now, I didn't know. So,
Okay.
but for you to just have a head-on to start, to take off, you need
Okay.
training. You need to train yourself. Don't just gamble into it to say, is it not chicken? Anything I give them, they
Right.
will eat. Any environment. And that's what people don't understand. So,
Okay.
yeah, the temperature of their room is critical.
Right.
The temperature of the weather, the room temperature, the moisture content, the humidity is critical because you can lose all of them just because of a little increase in temperature.
Any temperature.
But
True.
if you go for the training, you will be able to begin to navigate some of those things. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually good to know. Like you said, not normally I just have thought, okay, is it not chicken? Why do I need to stress myself out? They will eat anything. Just give them little things. Just give them little feed, and then make sure that they have enough water to drink, and they're good to go. After all, we used to see them run around, and there's nobody looking out for them, and before you know it, they'll just be big enough, and then we can eat them. But
Yeah.
ah. I've seen where
Yeah.
some poultry farms will say, "Oh, okay, they've lost all the chicks within a week owing to weather." So that's another insight that I know that is something that we need to also take a look at. But if we had to look at starting a poultry farm, what um what part of the country would you say is, because some people usually say that it's best in cool temperature where they aren't going to be so cold. Even if they're hot, if they're cold, you can always have a burner or heater around where it will make them warm. But if we have to put this into consideration, is there a particular state in Nigeria that is best for poultry farming?
Okay. Yeah. There are some states that are better or best for you to start.
Okay.
Every part of Nigeria, you can actually do your poultry business.
Oh,
Now,
great. Great.
yeah, what I mean that you can do your poultry business is because the way poultry or the way poultry is being done, probably the big ones, you
Hmm.
can exist anywhere, everywhere.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
yeah, because, but for a start,
Hmm.
I won't recommend that you start everywhere. What I would recommend is that if you are anywhere in the southwest
Okay.
of Nigeria, you are good, meaning Lagos State,
Mm.
Ogun State, or your state, um, because this is actually the poultry hub of the nation.
Okay.
The big farms, because for, for instance, you need your day-old chicks. So if you need
Right.
your day-old chicks, the majority of the places you will get your day-old chicks is in the southwest. Anybody
Mm.
that is going to get something is going to be either transporting it to any part of Nigeria.
Mm.
So if I need a day-old chick, the only place for me to get it is
So be
in
in the south.
southwest.
Yes.
And if it's
Okay.
going to be in southwest, that means as a starter, if you are in southwest, it's easier for you because you
Okay.
can always place your order and get it delivered. Now,
Mm.
don't forget that the order is delivered to you a day old. And when they are hatched, aside the feed, the egg remnants that will remain in the shell that they will, they'll tend to pick around.
Right.
Now, their first feed that they're going to be taking is going to
Mm.
be in your farm. And
Mm.
so if you buy it today
Right.
and they are going to be transported to Sokoto, it may take a day or two. those birds are not going to eat until they get to your farm. Now, if
Oh,
that is a year, and if that's the case, that means a lot of them may die along the way. And for instance, now a day old chick costs as much as 800 naira. Imagine
so
if
imagine losing
you
half.
lose,
I don't know how many usually a person will order, but imagine having
you can
to
lose as
lose.
much as 100, 500.
Oh my days. Now that will be very worrying, but we'll have you to share all that and more because I believe that's where the veterinarians need to come through and you share all that insight as we will go further discussing on Business Hub today. You as well can be a part of Business Hub by sharing your thoughts, your questions. If you've been in this business of poultry farming, how have you fared as well? Is it been better for you? Has it been good? And do you think that there are things that you can improve on? Well, I have my guest, Augustine Okochukwu, with me to share more insight in poultry farming. So, Lagos, we're going to stay tuned to Smooth 98.1. 98.1. So we just have a quick breather. And we'll go back. Dynamic non-interest bank that truly cares about your financial progress. Very quick one. Ethical prosperity, our project finance, small business facilities, individual savings products, and electronic banking solutions are carefully tailored to provide you with superior banking experience delivered in the most ethical and responsible manner. As Lotus Bank, it is partnership for progress. We share your risks and profit, making it a must-win for all. Open a Lotus Bank account today or use any cashless platform, ATM, mobile banking, or internet banking to enjoy seamless transactions. Contact our 24/7 call center. Dial 07000 Lotus Bank, which is 07000 56887 or visit www.lotusbank.com. Lotus Bank, partner, progress, prosper.
Ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Here is another song from today.
Yes, it is 33 minutes gone past five, and you are tuned in to Business Hub, where we get to discuss everything relating to businesses, and especially for those who are looking out for business that they want to venture in and asking, however, with the right knowledge before venturing into this. However, today on Business Hub, we are talking about the state of Nigeria's poultry sector, and my guest this evening is Augustine Okochukwu. He is the MD CEO of Blue Harvest Poultry Farms. And I bid you warm welcome again to the second half of Business Hub. I know that earlier on we're talking, you're muted, by the way. I know that earlier on we're talking about having chicks, and then before you know it, we bought it at 800 naira. Just imagine losing 100 of that. So that's 800,000 naira gone down the drain. That can be very depressing for a business who's just a person who's just starting out the business. At what point though would one need to invest in the proper care? I'm talking about the proper care. I'm talking about having a veterinarian close by. Do you always have to have one on the farm, or do you schedule visits, or have them schedule visits rather, so that they can come assess what you're doing, assess the chicks you have before things get out of hand?
Okay, yeah, what I usually advise farmers to do is, from the onset, you may not be able to afford a veterinary doctor full time. But
Okay.
like you said, you could have um, an arrangement where a vet doctor visits um, your 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 farm probably twice a week, for a fee instead of housing one. But as you move on in the business, as the business grows, there will be a time that you must have a veterinary doctor full time in the farm. Now,
Mm.
because there are a lot of things that happens, a lot of things that happens, a lot of issues that can occur, a lot of incidents that can occur. You need prompt diagnosis because sometimes you can get your flock wiped out.
Ooh.
For instance, there was an issue that happened in our farm that we lost close to 3,000 at a go, almost 3,000 at a go. Now, some
Ooh.
of these things will be as a result of build up. And
Mm.
it's such that an incident can happen today if you're not careful
Mm.
before you say tomorrow, everything is over.
Everything's gone.
But if you have a vet doctor in-house, on daily he's examining those chicks and taking proper care so that you will not run into a loss. So if as soon as you start, sometimes maybe because of finance, but if you can afford it from day one, let the vet doctor be part of the business from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Let, let the vet doctor be part of the business. It helps
Mm.
because even when you're going to take your initial bet, a vet doctor plays a role because he can help you to check the titer level of the bet, the parent stock, what was the disease that the parent of this chick had, what was
Okay.
the thing that they used to, because even the vaccination that the chicks have had, you need to know. So the vet doctor will help you to do that. As long as you are doing up to 5,000 beds and above, it's important that you have a vet doctor resident because that will help you to, you know, take care of the cost, the salary, and
Okay.
be able to run, to survive. But, sometimes I tell people it's even better. Sometimes some of the things we will lose by not having them, it's better that you even pay because you would have conserved a lot of resources by having them. Some people say, they just come and sit down. Initially, when we started, we didn't have a vet doctor. Yeah, when
Okay.
we started, we didn't have a vet doctor.
Hmm.
And we're running into a very serious loss. When I now decided that we're going to have a vet doctor, my manager said, no, that is expensive to do. I said, don't worry. It's not going to affect your own pay. You know, whatever you're
Okay.
collecting, you collect, but this guy has to come. To a point came that he said, thank God that we had this man. Because
Right.
if we didn't have him, the loss we were experiencing, some of the things he would, okay, for instance, now, sometimes he would advise on the nature of antibiotics we need. And some of
Okay.
them are organic, natural, and it won't cost us anything. But
Right.
meanwhile, we used to spend a lot to make sure that would give them antibiotics that will make them survive some, attacks on some diseases that may come along the way. But when
Hmm.
this guy came, he was profiling a natural remedy because that's his stock in trade. So he knows it very well. So
Right.
the cost you even save is even much more better than you pay salary than losing them. Because if I had him around when
When you
we
first
lost
started.
over, exactly, we wouldn't have lost them, but it was a serious money. But it's important that as long as you want it on the long haul, you want it as a business,
Mm.
I advise from the beginning, have a vet
Let them
doctor.
be on ground.
But then yeah, but then some people say after all, I started with 1,000 beds. Yeah, but then
Yes. It
you
has
can
grown.
manage, but then even if you can't afford them, have them for retainership. Every now and then, 2 weeks, every twice a week, let them come and visit, know what is going on, know what is happening. You call them, prescribe. Okay, if there's any little thing, you call the person, look at what we have, what was experiencing, and he tells you what to
Hmm.
do, and you'll be fine. So it's
All right.
important.
Okay, so a quick one though. I know that bird flu used to be a thing. Is it still something that poultry farmers did experience?
Yeah, it is. It is. But that is not even a major threat to poultry. When it
Okay.
comes, everybody knows it's around.
Mm.
Everybody knows it's around. If your biosecurity is strong, you don't have anything to worry. But the
Right.
day-to-day running of poultry, the challenge is even much more than flu
Oh my
because
word.
every Yeah, every running it daily is a challenge. For instance, you need to quarantine or anybody that's going to visit. Sometimes because of the nature of our environment, when you start business,
Mhm.
oh, God has done it for me. Praise the Lord. Good. I now have a poultry farm. Tomorrow,
Right.
some friends will come and visit you to say, okay,
Let me,
thank God for you, and they will come in, look, see, do everything and go. Now you are
right.
looking for trouble. As they're
Oh,
coming, yes, you're looking for trouble because as they're coming, you don't know where they're coming from, you don't know what is in their shoes, you don't know the clothes, you don't know the sickness
okay.
that they are going through, you don't know their problem because remember, some of the attacks to birds are airborne.
True.
So it, somebody that have flu can enter into your pen while
And it
leaving.
will
He has
pass
left
it
one, and
out.
yes, and he won't know. So sometimes when you tell people your poultry farm is not a recreational center, please don't allow people inside. They will say, what harm? But as they're coming in with something, one or two things that may be harmful to the birds.
To the birds.
It could just be somebody who will walk in and go. It doesn't mean any harm. But at the end of the day, he may have introduced something that you're going to battle for a long while. And that's where the problem is. So one thing is there are much more problem. Okay, for instance, do you know that ordinarily, when anytime I'm in the farm and people will be laughing at me, if I see any bird fly in, I'll
Yes.
pursue them because they are wild.
Oh,
And because they are wild, they are carrying on
yes.
all manner of diseases. And when they enter the
Mm.
pen, they can drop it. As little as rat coming into, because there is feed inside, you feed those birds. So
Mhm.
anything that likes that feed will also want to come and eat it.
Also wants to come
And as,
in and feed on it.
yes, and as they're coming in, they are dropping one thing or the other that may be harmful. These chicks, they are not they are not as strong as the conventional one that we see that we rear beside the house. They are not like that. They are fragile, they are frail. Now, the essence of that frailty is because they have come to develop a means wherein we are able to, you know, get high yield in a short time. For
Mm.
instance, now, initially, you will take a bird between 6 months to 1 year for it to mature up to 1.5 kg.
Okay.
But with research and advanced technology, we now have a bird that can achieve 2 kg within 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay. That's immense growth.
So, and some people say, is it nice? But I say, we're not talking about being nice now. There are options for you to buy the local ones. But if you go by the local ones, how many people will eat chicken once in a year? In Nigeria is not food secure. That's true.
Okay.
Imagine if I'm going to rear a chick for 1 year before I will turn it off for sale. Now
Uh,
imagine how many I can turn in. I can turn
within
in
a month
by
or two.
within
Within a
two
short
months,
period. Oh, okay.
in
Oh,
eight
two
weeks,
months. Okay.
within a short period. Yeah, 2 months. In 8 weeks, I will turn in one about 2 kg. The next 2 months, I'll turn in. The next 2 months. That means in 1 year, I can do up to 5 cycles. It's against one or two,
Mm.
usually. So now remember, because they are frail, they are younger,
Yeah.
their strength cannot carry a lot of stress. And so that is the problem. So any
Mm.
little thing will affect them. So
Mm.
with that, that is where the problem is. Bird flu, when it comes, everybody's aware, but there are a lot of things that come on them unawares. And that is where the problem is.
Well, our time is almost fast spent, but I wouldn't want us to go without actually taking a look at. I know that poultry business can be very profitable. However, what's your outlook for poultry prices as we are getting towards those ember months? Because after August now, yes, we're in the break right now. No rainy season, nothing of that sort. But September, some rain will come, and I know that the weather is a very can be friendly and unfriendly to poultry. But what's your outlook into the Christmas period,
The
starting from
outlook
now?
into the They have to look into the Christmas period. At some point, I felt maybe there may not be any significant change in price.
Okay.
But with the way things are going, okay, for instance, the feed prices are increasing by the day.
Right.
You can buy between 15,000 to 18,000, some between 15 to 18,000 per bag. This is 25 kg bag.
Hmm.
And the cost of day old chicks has increased. Like I told you, some people are even selling above 800
Okay.
for one.
Oh,
So
okay.
these are, yeah, for one. So these are also increasing. That means the cost of production is increasing.
Hmm.
So surely there's going to be at some point, not up to 2 weeks back, it was just at 550 naira per day old.
Hmm.
Now, if the cost has increased, if the processing cost has increased by that magnitude, the cost of feed is also increasing.
Hmm.
And the way things are going, I'm not sure the government or there's anything that is going to, any magic that will happen that will make the cost of feed to come down.
To go
So
down.
because the cost of, yeah, for now, because the cost
Hmm.
of feed has not been impacted or is on the increase, surely the cost of poultry by Christmas is going to increase. The cost of egg is going to increase. This one is it's not even that Christmas period will always impact the cost of anything. This one is
Right.
just the cost of production on its own is already, giving a signal that by Christmas things are going to be a little
Actually
bit
usually higher than that they usually. Well,
exactly.
well, at
Exactly.
least we have what to project and how to look forward to it. So if we start our business now, we could actually get some reasonable yield during Christmas.
Surely you would have a
All
reasonable
right.
yield.
Okay, that's actually great to know. So, yes, you've gotten all the insight. Well, not exactly everything. So if someone wants to get more insight on how they can go about their poultry farm and business, how can they get in touch with you on your social media handles?
Yeah, Instagram, Wood Augustine at Wood Augustine,
Okay.
Facebook at Wood Augustine, which other one again? Twitter at Augustine Udu. Or they can reach us on phone.
Now,
We do a
it
lot.
would be better. It would be better if they reach out to you on your social media handles, then they can get the calls from there.
Oh,
Follow through
okay,
on the calls
beautiful.
from there.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh,
With
all
that,
right.
we can give.
Follow through.
Sometimes I tell people, we as a way of giving out, as a way of giving, helping the society.
Mhm.
Um, I don't call it that I consult because I don't charge for it.
Correct.
I give
Right.
freely, advise you freely, and that will be it.
Which is awesome because consultation is expensive these days. So I applaud you for your good work. And
Thank you.
I also want to say a very big thank you so much for joining me this evening and sharing more light on our poultry sector. I trust you have yourself a pleasant evening.
Thank you very much. Same here. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, thank you so much. And yes, my guest is Augustine Okochukwu, and he is the MD CEO of Blue Harvest Poultry Farm. So you want to reach out to him on his social handles and get all the information. See, he's not what even makes it more interesting is he's not charging you a fee. So get across to him and get all the information that you need. But don't forget that we still have so much more lined up for you on Smooth 98.1. Don't go nowhere. Point one, in association with Lotus Bank. Lotus Bank. Thank you so much. It was really, really insightful and very informative.